Check. So, just for the sake of video, do it the wrong way first, how you were doing it. Sorry, so much better. Now try to do it without anything moving here. Oh, so much better. Listen, now, my turn. No, I think just do everything. So you can feel how quieter this can be. And now assist me. Stay there, relax into me. Let this drop. Is it? Let it drop.
Yeah.
Okay, so now here, slide this leg up. This one. You see how easy that gets now?
Yeah.
And go back. Good, so.
Good.
Good. Now slide. And that should feel almost light. But lighter than before.
Yeah, lighter than before.
One more time. Relax. Okay. Now slide your left leg through. And go back. Good. Go ahead. Nope. Nope. What's your intention right now? Nope. You're intensing this up. What are you expecting to do, or what are you going to try to do?
I'm trying to rotate my hip up and down.
And then do what?
And then slide my left leg through.
This one?
Or should I slide my right
No,
my
either
leg
one.
up first?
Either one. It's just that I want the cleanliness that we had before without this on. Let go. Go ahead. Better. There you go. Now that's it. Really nice there. And then go back. Okay. Nope. Can I help you with it? Nope. Sorry, let me do everything.
Oh.
Okay, slide the left leg. That's your right. Go back. Okay. Stand up. Move around.
I'm sure there's a way for both sides.
Yeah, I think this will work out. Yeah. I had stuff to tell you over summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
The other rib cage extension and rotation exercise I will give is I call flying squirrel rolling. It's hard. It's pretty fun and funny to watch, especially when people aren't good at it. But it puts the spine and rib cage in pretty essential positions for overhead athletes. Most notably, you should be able to recognize this cocked position where athletes are rotated and extended, they need to have that range. They need to have that integrity through and motion through their spine and rib cage. This is one of those instances that can help develop it. Again, as with all the rib cage things, go to the point of resistance, come back. Go to the point of resistance, come back. If you want to play with it, just flop on over and then try to increase quality over time. But the goal is to be able to get freer and more relaxed motion throughout the whole thing. So I'll start with people being able to grab their ankles. If they're that stiff and they can't grab their ankles, they can grab a towel, but everyone should be able to do this. And then I will just shift side to side, almost like I'm trying to get one butt cheek outside my elbow. And I'm trying to keep, well, actually I don't have to try to do it, but my shoulders just stay relaxed on the ground as I start articulating more through my ribs and spine. So I might just spend a few minutes here going as far as I can without my shoulders moving. And then the next stage would be, can I actually get a butt cheek outside the elbow and down? And then come back. It's okay if a little shoulder comes up. And then I want to be able to roll all the way over, under control, and then be able to come back. When you try this yourself or with athletes, you'll wonder how I was able to do that so easily. Practice, most people will get there and then just try to force it or something. It's very much like Humpty Dumpty fell over and can't get up again. There's two ways of getting back. One is rolling over and it's leading with this hip extending and rotating and reaching. The other is like this. That way is a lot more effortful, but I still like people being able to ball up like that. Have fun.
Start taking the knee away to where it starts going, and you're just gonna let your body go until it starts pulling you. You're gonna try to figure out how to get yourself up here with minimal use of your left arm.
Oh, boom.
Yeah. So as you guys feel how that starts and how let your head start holding, and then you're gonna think that comes up. And you'll have to push a little bit with your and then go back. Yeah.
Okay.
So you feel as your head starts trying, now you bring it forward. So you can let it relax, start rolling. Yeah, there you go. Let that leg kick back. There you go.
Interesting.
And there. Now when you come back, let your head soften. Bring it to, there you go. Good.
Oh, interesting.
Let yourself.
So many of you probably have seen Happy Baby Rolling circulate my Instagram or other avenues. It's one of the main ribcage movements that I will assign people, especially if they need more flexion anywhere or rotation. And again, the goal is going to be finding new avenues for motion or new opportunities through less intensity. And that is Then you want to encourage your athletes, your clients, patients to maybe stop where it's really difficult and work through that range with really little effort until they get more range. And that'll make sense once I show you kind of the sticking point of this move. So to begin with, it'll just be holding onto the feet, relaxing the head. Almost everyone will try to maybe keep their eyes on you or just keep their head up, but it's important that they let it fall. And then I might start with, this would be phase one, is can they get their elbow to the ground? See how my head came up there? Relax. And then be able to melt the armpit around the knee and into the ground here. And then they can roll onto their back a little bit if they want. The feet can separate. And then can they come up? Again, with minimal engagement of the arms or the bicep. A lot of people will try to muscle it by pulling themselves up with that elbow and the bicep. But this is kind of the sticking point here. And so I'll let people oscillate back and forth. And what you want to see are these ribs or the sternum get on top of the knee. So from this angle, you'll see that I'm able to get more of my center of mass on top of my knee. And then what brings me up or what pushes me up is actually my knee or my hip. So this also can be useful for aquatically devolved athletes or people who need more hip abduction and external rotation, or even tibial interrotation, kind of your typical aquatic athlete with a valgus collapse, weak hip, tibial external rotation. This position and them using just their leg to control it might also be quite useful for them, as well as being able to maintain softness through the upper side or the upper extremity and rib cage. Most people won't get this far. They'll be here and then they'll just try to pull themselves up. And again, it's about finding new avenues for motion through relaxation. For your overhead athlete, so if I'm a right-handed volleyball player, which I once was, this position would be very useful for follow-through. If you can imagine, I would hit and I would need to be able to rotate my torso and rib cage so that the force goes from my arm into my ribs, into my spine, so that my torso decelerates my arm just as well as we want it to accelerate the arm. So for a right-handed player, this side will probably be extra important, or any overhead rotational athlete, that they can rotate and come up. This one I just call single leg happy baby rolling. Sorry, the ground is very cold. Where I'll start with on my back, and so instead of being here, where this would be rolling up, this is going to be just one arm and one leg, opposite arm to leg, and we want the leg, the weight of the leg, to pull us up, rather than pulling my arm out of, or my head toward my leg out of sequence. We want the lower half to accelerate the upper half, just like what we would want in any overhead rotational sport is where we should see the hips rotate and then the arm follow. So that's one of the reasons why we like this so much for overhead athletes, is that they can find this sequencing and connection from right arm to left side as they learn how to rotate there. The sticking point typically for everybody is here, and that's when they might lift that leg or side bend or pull themselves up. But if they have enough subtleness in their rib cage, then they should just be able to get this rotation here and be able to come on up from this angle. You'll see more of the thoracic rotation element as I come up. So, just kind of like you can, actually, I gotta film this. All right, here.
Okay.
You're gonna have a whole Somersault series.
Yay.
So you'll do the sideways one that Aaron did. You'll go forward,
Backwards.
back, and then this
The
one.
other way. What the hell?
No, but I would try and go be more relaxed and just let that whipping.
I don't know if
Does this make sense? Like what you do here? Yes. I think it would feel like
So
I
actually would like you to start
you
here.
just like shift like side to side.
And
and then bring the head through.
Pull up, which is good for your shoulders.
This will be,
Oh, you're like going over the top.
well, there's two different variations.
Okay.
I just wanted to give you an idea of what the progression should look like here. That in order to like gently get a palm onto the heel, there needs to be like a forward translation of the hips, and obviously some back extension and rotation. But most people would just do that if they don't have it. I was like, oh, that's how you want me to touch my heel, and they bring their hips back, side bend, and put a lot of weight into their toes rather than keep the weight on the knees. And they can start with just moving the heel side to side here, and you'll get some subtle articulations in the ribs through this as the arm would sink back and forth, and be able to get it on both sides. And then it would be this little circle motion. And again, I'm just gently placing the heels of my palm on my palm on my heel. And then the next one would be the heel circles. So there needs to be a weight shift first, and then a very subtle and relaxed circle, and you can reverse directions and compare sides of which one might be easier to move, or which side accepts weight better. So for me, this side was a lot easier, just how easily my right side accepted weight, and that's typically the case, that I can adduct on my right side a lot better than my left. That's that.